Imagine waking up tomorrow and an entire corporate empire has vanished from India. Go into the kitchen, the salt is gone. Turn on the television, the satellite connection is dead. Look out the window, millions of cars, commercial trucks, and public transit buses evaporate from the streets. The physical silence is eerie, but the real catastrophe is digital. Behind the scenes, the servers running the country's unseen infrastructure go dark. 7 out of every 10 Indians rely on technology built by TATA consultancy services. Passports stop issuing. Major banks halt. Stock exchanges freeze. 1.15 million jobs are wiped out. $180 billion in annual revenue disappears from the books. That is roughly 4.2% of India's total gross domestic product, erased in an instant. TATA is the structural foundation of modern India. And right now, severe internal rifts and intense regulatory pressures threaten to crack that foundation.
To understand why this empire is vulnerable, you have to look at how it is built. Over 30 distinct operating companies answer to a single parent organization, headquartered here at Bombay House, Tata Sons. Most corporate giants are owned by aggressive hedge funds, but 66% of Tata Sons is held by philanthropic trusts. The profits generated aren't paid out to Wall Street investors. They are funneled directly into nationwide healthcare networks, rural development projects, and education grants. This philosophy of management was cemented early in the 20th century by leaders like J.R.D. Tata, who believed corporate success must directly benefit the community. This delicate balance of capitalism funding charity relies entirely on one condition: Tata Sons must remain a private entity, completely insulated from the demands of the public stock market. The post-Ratan Tata era has tested that balance. Relentless growth has left several businesses bleeding cash, creating immense friction at the top. The loudest voice in the boardroom belongs to the Shapoorji Pallonji, or SP Group. Controlled by the Mistry family, they sit as the largest minority shareholder. The SP Group holds an 18.4% stake in Tata Sons. But right now, they are drowning in billions of massive debt. They want a bailout. Specifically, they want Tata Sons to launch an initial public offering, an IPO, to sell shares on the open market. This would allow the SP Group to cash out their stake, which is valued anywhere from $10 billion to over $20 billion. It is a high-stakes standoff, a desperate minority shareholder demanding a cash exit, fighting a philanthropic majority that absolutely refuses to surrender private control. This private feud would have stayed behind closed doors, but the Reserve Bank of India, the central bank, threw a match into the powder keg. Because Tata Sons raises money and invests in its dozens of group companies, the RBI legally classified it as an upper-layer NBFC, or non-banking financial company. By law, any company with this specific classification is mandated to go public and list on the stock exchange, and the strict deadline to do so was 2025. The SP Group is pushing for this IPO, using the central bank's mandate as leverage, while Tata Sons attempts every legal maneuver to avoid listing. A massive regulatory mandate has armed the minority shareholder with the law, trapping a century-old philanthropic model in a modern legal corner. If Tata Sons fails to maneuver out of this mandate and is forced onto the public market, the entire structure of the company changes. Management would suddenly have to answer to aggressive public shareholders. Success would be measured strictly by ruthless quarter-by-quarter earnings reports. Wall Street expectations directly conflict with a business model designed to fund massive social welfare trusts. Public investors demand profit margins, not nationwide literacy programs. A forced public listing could legally strip the philanthropic DNA out of India's most significant corporate entity. This dispute reaches far beyond the boardroom in Bombay House. A disruption here ripples through 4.2% of the national economy. If internal warfare or regulatory pressure fractures the trusts, it directly threatens hospital funding, nationwide education initiatives, and the livelihoods of millions. Can a historic philanthropic giant survive the ruthless mechanics of modern financial regulation? And if Tata is forced to change its DNA, how does India function without its greatest corporate pillar?